Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Merry Christmas to everybody. But again, these are collective readings. They could resonate with anyone at any time. And I hope you are having a good Christmas if you celebrate it. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. So what does my collective need to know today? These enemies are being destroyed, okay? So you could have destroyed your enemies. We've got shattered, broken, fucked up. So you could have destroyed your enemies. We've got pregnancy test in reverse. And then we've got running away in reverse. Okay, so this could be somebody who you have child or children with. They are falling apart. Okay, so with this pregnancy test in reverse, this could be somebody who you left, alright? They wanted to destroy you, but they've been left destroyed. And we've got running away, somebody who didn't want you to get away from them. Something surrounding keeping a secret. And we've got love story. Tired of drama in reverse. So you could have walked away because they was a trouble starter, a drama causer, walked away from them, and they wanted to hold you back, okay? Maybe they wanted to keep you a secret, or keep it a secret what they was doing, or what they was trying to do, which was they was trying to bring drama in your life. And we've got private relationship in reverse. I'm getting quite possibly that they was having communications with other people throughout the relationship. Haters. Yeah. Bugaboos. And then we've got fighting for what you love and envy. So these jealous, envious haters, okay, this last person who masculine or feminine was with, alright, was always linking up with these haters and had them like a side piece, because these haters was all of a sudden finding an interest in this masculine or feminine, and they wanted to team together, group together, okay? And this masculine or feminine just wanted to cause drama with these haters by meeting on up and stirring the pot. So then this masculine or feminine would have you fighting for them and fighting for the relationship. So this is somebody who wants you to fight for them. This is somebody who went on off to these jealous, envious haters, okay, who could have tried to destroy you before. And they wanted to see you fall into pieces, alright, falling apart, and they wanted to see you fighting for them for some strange reason. I mean, why should you have to, 3 or 3, why should you have to, if you're in a relationship, can you supposed to be like loyal to each other? Why should you have to fight for your other partner to stay loyal? Or why should your partner then going off to your haters and have some sort of secret meetings, okay? Because all of a sudden, when you got with masculine or feminine, is what I'm getting, and again, these are collective readings, all these haters wanted, all the phrase there, all these haters seem to want a bit, okay? But that was all some plots, plans, schemes. We've got sexual protection in reverse and sexual. So this could be somebody who had a secret encounter with an ex who you've left, who you could have a child or something with, and so there was some cheating. There is some cheating secretly, because they wanted to be able to destroy you. So this masculine or feminine slithered in bed with one of these karmic haters who just wanted to destroy you. They could have tried to destroy you before. These haters who are envious and jealous. So they met up and there was some cheating involved. We've got situations about to explode, but they didn't want you to find out. And they was doing drugs together, okay? They was doing drugs, there was exchange of drugs and an extra, I can't even get it out. Exchange of drugs, okay? And there was an exchange of sexual encounters, alright? But maybe these haters wasn't even interested in this masculine or feminine until masculine or feminine got with them, yeah? And there was always causing total drama. And we've got insecure in reverse. They wanted you to feel insecure. And they wanted you to feel that you wasn't good enough, okay? So they could have tried to make you feel insecure in the relationship, tried to downgrade you, and we got burning evidence. So there was, could have been deleting messages. Could have been deleting messages. Deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted. So this ex, not to be trusted. These haters, these karmics, all grouped on up to destroy divine masculine or divine feminine, and wanted to see divine masculine or divine feminine keep it get destroyed, backstab, trait, but then they wanted to keep it a secret, alright? So I'm getting into some sort of gaslighting. I'd never do anything like that. I'm loyal, okay? And sliding back, the lying, and deleting messages, getting rid of evidence, okay? Because they teamed up with haters. I hate nothing about you. I don't hate you. I love you. But this ex was a secret hater. Private relationship in reverse, it's not. They got found out. Yeah, there was very manipulated. Manipulating, lies, control, and it was a bad choice, and it was all envious. And they know they fucked up. They know they fucked up. It's because they had it on a plate, and again, these jealous, envious haters who were nothing but manipulators did everything they could, Jezebels, to sway this masculine or feminine, and they didn't want you to be able to investigate then. So they could have been deleting messages on their phone because they keep crawling back and creeping on back, and they wanted to start fights, you see. Could have ended up with like police getting called or something like that. And we got game over, and we got toxic, and they don't want to hear it. So they could have like started some drama, okay, by this creeping around, and then police could have got called. But this is like a toxic fight is what they wanted. This is a very toxic fight, what they wanted. A very toxic, extremely, extremely toxic, like snake-like, envious, jealous. But again, there was drugs involved. There was drugs involved. So maybe masculine or feminine was like, oh, I've got some of this, come round to mine. All right, or can I come round to yours? I've got some of this, I've got some of that. As a way to slide on in. And then there was just literally slamming, is what I'm getting. Mastery. And in between. So this ex was playing both sides. This ex was making out like they was on your side, alright? And they really wasn't. They was playing both sides. I am getting tag teaming, alright? Maybe some stuff to do with like online or fights out in the public eye, alright? And we got the future. We've got independence. So this masculine or feminine was jealous of your independence, okay? And they actually thought that they had some sort of rights to your future. So this is somebody who made out like they wanted to be loyal to you, alright? They're a good person. They'll look after you. They'll take care of you. Meanwhile, they was laughing with these karmics who were so focused on trying to take you down and destroy you, alright? But it backfired, alright? They were so focused, laughing with these karmics, okay? Joking with these karmics, and then even backstabbing masculine or feminine behind their back to these haters, karmics, and thought it was funny. They thought it was funny, okay? Knocking shop is what I'm getting, knocking shop. So this last ex, not but a knocking shop. They would go knocking on people's doors. Can I come in? Can I come in? And then they'd be like, yeah, come on in. Keep it quiet, alright? And then don't let your missus or fella know, alright? Because they're nothing but toxic snakes. But this is somebody who you could have like a child or children with, or some sort of miscarriage or a pregnancy scare with, like. Could have been with child at time. Rats is what they are. All rats. They're for the streets is what I'm getting. These rats are for the streets. This is like a street rat. Alright? This is what I'm getting. This is like a street rat. This is somebody who knows a lot of people. Alright? And this is somebody who just slides around like a snake or scurries the streets, begging for scraps, begging for attention of other men, other women, a clout seeker. And they was cracking jokes. They was all laughing, cracking jokes, getting on the tips, getting off the tips on drugs, starting total drama, alright? But with this, a situation's about to explode, maybe when things become like a loggerheads with arguments, which they were starting with the drama from the sliding and being a little street rat, a gold digger is what I'm getting, they'd be away, you know what I mean? They'd scurry on off and then leave you fighting against all these haters, these toxic karmics, while they'd be messaging their bugaboo. Because I was messaging and meeting up with their bugaboo, their side piece, radical acceptance. Then we got illusion in reverse. They was causing some sort of illusions, and we got truth in reverse. They didn't want you to see the truth. Fortune, they were gold digger, they were rat, they're for the streets, they were gold digger, seeing through these illusions. So maybe you've seen through these illusions and these lies, and that they wasn't speaking a word of the truth, because they're very deceitful, they're very backstabbing, they're a traitor, and they're not to be trusted. But I am getting that they're all backstabbing each other, and because you've walked away, you got the last laugh with this humour. They were so focused on trying to destroy masculine or feminine that they've actually destroyed their future chances of ever being with you ever again, because they was in between, playing both sides. They was also jealous of your skills, what you have, okay? Jealous of your skills and how you seem to have a lot more skills than what they had, but because of some sort of skills and some sort of money with this fortune, what came out, there was nothing but a gold digger. With this fortune log, there was nothing but a gold digger. Nothing but a gold digger. Knowledge and communion. Maybe you've got a very strong connection to the divine. And with this communion, maybe this could be somebody with this 1313. Maybe this could be somebody who had linking to some sort of a church. Okay? Could have gone to church with this person at some point, or one of these haters, one of these karmics, one of these rats for the streets, one of these snakes slides into a church, or they have some linkings to some sort of a church. Inexperience. They was very inexperienced, like they don't know how to love, and they don't know how to stay loyal. They're only loyal to their cause. Like they'll sliver on whoever's got like the most money at the time, whoever's got the most drugs, do you know what I mean? Whoever's got this for them, whoever's got that. A gold digger, we've got new beginnings. So starting a new beginning, alright, without these cranks, and I can assure you that they are being destroyed right now, okay? And you are being liberated, sorry, and they did this deliberately, should I say. They did this deliberately. You are being liberated, okay, and they are being destroyed, and we've got forgiveness, no way, and then we have romantic love. They want forgiveness. They do want to come back. They do want your forgiveness, but I would suggest that it is pointless, because this is the type of person who can never stay loyal, and they're like a narcissist, where they will only want to come back and beg for your forgiveness, okay, just to continue this cycle, this drama, and keep sliding around to these haters. But focus on your healing. Nurturing. You're very nurturing. This is why this masculine or feminine seem to have fallen for you, but it wasn't enough for them, even though you are enough, it wasn't enough for them because they're for the streets, okay? So they just wanted a mummy or daddy, alright? They just wanted someone to do everything for them, look after them, 15, or while they slide on round to all these haters and have these side pieces, alright? The past, divine wisdom. I don't know, this is somebody from your past. Maybe you knew this person throughout life, okay? Maybe these haters are from the past. They needed some sort of nurturing. They needed some sort of healing. You could have given them some sort of healing, romantic love, and some sort of nurturing. It was like a miracle to them. We got the truth in reverse, but they didn't want to speak a word of the truth, okay? Her. Open up your heart and your home to this person, okay? And you was trying to save this person. You give this masculine or feminine compassion. You was trying to save this person because you're in a communion with the Most High. But they didn't want salvation. They didn't want to be saved. They just wanted to be stuck with these haters from the past and co-create with these haters time and time again. There was always co-creating and sliding back to these bitter, envious, jealous little bitches. And you was generous to this person is what I'm getting. You was generous to this person, okay? You are seen as like a wise leader, but with this moon card, an alliance, okay, and then the sun card, they secretly, these haters, formed an alliance against this masculine or feminine, yeah? And they was all slinging themselves at this masculine or feminine, okay, probably doing sex magic. Everyone was slinging themselves at this masculine or feminine, the sun, but they did not want that to be revealed. They're very codependent, whereas masculine or feminine is very independent. They're very codependent. Again, very generous, very kind, very loving, communication, and in truth, that they was constantly in communication with these haters who's formed a hate alliance. And they was following the crowd. They were lost soul. But I'm getting that you came to save them. And they didn't want to be saved, so they're actually getting bloody devoured. They're a liar. Okay? They're working with the father of lies. And they're constantly in communication with these haters who are just as much of a liar as them. So they're not worth it. They're not worth the stress. They're not worth the heartbreak, okay? They're not worth any tears. They're not worth anything. They are not worth anything. Pattern. It's a pattern, what they do. Anytime they get in some sort of relationship where they say that they're loyal, they're a good person and stuff like that, you know, they're a liar. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Like, you could have brought colour into their life. You see, can you see like the rainbow here? You could have brought colour into their life. And they was just repping the darkness. They didn't want the light. They wanted the darkness. They wanted toxicity. For the streets are a rat. They're a street rat. They're a street rat. So let the streets have them. They're for the streets and networking for the gold, which is of that. Is it Uday? Yeah, Uday on YouTube. They're for the streets. They are for the streets, okay? So they failed. They are wanting some sort of forgiveness for being such a toxic snake and being for the streets. They're wanting forgiveness. Don't focus on this past like relationship, okay? Focus on yourself. Focus on your own independence. Focus on healing. You've got so much potential, and there's a lot of new beginnings, a lot of miracles coming towards you. Meanwhile, they're crumbling and they're crashing down, okay? Everyone, when you was in some sort of romantic relationship with them, doesn't even want them no more. They was just using this person, alright? Because look how moody this face is. They was using them. They was using them, okay? So as they was trying to use you, bleed you dry, and was all about the money, they was just using them as a form of an attack. That's why they wanted forgiveness. They're going to try to take away your creative spark, okay? But that's coming back. That is coming back. They really want forgiveness. But again, focus on your healing. They're a liar, okay? And they only want forgiveness so they can come back in and manipulate again and lie and control, okay? They're falling apart, okay? They messed up, alright? They didn't want to see you move forward, yeah? And they actually believed that they had their feet well and truly under the table and they was always going to be in your life. So they could have spoke to you about marriage, okay? Constantly speaking about how loyal they are, and there just wasn't. They can't even bloody spell loyal. Yeah, they was expecting you to always be there for them. They was expecting you to just keep taking this shit. They was expecting, look, fake apology in my verse, you see, because like they only want to apologise, or they only want to come back with some sort of apology, because all these haters, the ones who formed an alliance where they was just jumping on this masculine or feminine, they was just using them as a form of an attack. That's why they want some sort of forgiveness and come back, because maybe they're starting to see the truth that they're welcome to each other, because they're all a set of liars. And again, gold diggers, they're for the streets. This is someone who's always about the coinage, alright? And if you didn't have no money at the time, these little rats, these rats would just scurry to somebody for some money, and they really wanted to make you feel insecure. Like, this is someone who's got like some sort of sex demon, like an incubus, succubus, or Jezebel. This is somebody who really likes incubus, succubus, Jezebel type of energy, and somebody who offers them it on a bloody plate. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. So they was all just throwing themselves at this masculine or feminine as a form of an attack. Fake friends in reverse. And they've got sexual protection in reverse. So it was something to do with a fake ass bitch of a friend. Divine wisdom is what's coming through. This was something to do with a fake ass bitch of a friend who was doing this as a form of attack. And they could have literally tried to, because we've got sexual protection in reverse. There was bare backing. There was bare backing, alright? There was no protection involved. And then they came back and wanted to make masculine or feminine feel insecure, and was refusing to give masculine or feminine any form of attention, like any form of communication. So maybe there was a period in this relationship where you wasn't really talking for days, and there was no like hugging, or there was no talking, or like whenever there was some talking, there'd just be like bare minimum. And like how that face was, where it was just moods, that's because they were sliding it off to these fake ass friends. So maybe not speaking or something for so many days because they was too busy at it with other people. They was too busy at it. It was too busy. Too busy in bed with one or some of these, maybe even more. Maybe even more. Bare backing, alright. stirring the pot, alright? Drama. Stirring the pot, gossiping, backstabbing, keeping a promise in reverse. So they kept no promise. They promised to be loyal, but they was just lying. They can't even spell loyalty. Some of these can't even spell frigging loyalty. Some of them can't even spell respect. And nothing but a cheating scumbag. Nothing but a cheating scumbag with these fake, like, ex-friends. So maybe this could be a masculine or feminine who you're not friends with anymore because you know that they're nothing but a toxic snake, nothing but a backstabber. But this is someone who you used to be friends with at some time, at one time, okay? And they just wanted some sort of situation to explode. Then we got check yourself. Already know the T in reverse, and look at this. Promiscuous. Sleeps around, a hot free-for-all, sleeps with your man. So, maybe needing some sort of STD check. But because they're a Jezebel, if any reports or anything to the police come in, this Jezebel will just probably smash the police officers to get away with what they're doing, because these police officers love toxic Jezebels too. So there could be something to do with police getting called with one of these ex-fake ass mates, alright? And the police won't do nothing about it because they love the slappers, they love the hers, they proper rep the hers, they also proper rep toxicity too. They really do. So something to do with an STD test. With this insecure in reverse, these bugaboos, these side pieces, these toxic hers, they wanted to make you feel insecure in your own home. So there's some sort of fight, look. So he's deleting some sort of messages, look. And they was getting lippy. And they was fulfilling a fantasy, alright? Because they just wanted to ruin this relationship. That's all they fantasise about, is ruining other people's relationship. And this is a copycat. This is a copycat. This is someone who's jealous, envious, and nothing but a copycat. Jealous of your gifts, your skills. But they're all falling apart. This has been going on for a while. They was enjoying the gossip, okay? There was a lot of trash talking, okay? Just not, like, I'm just getting a knocking shot. A knocking shot, this is somebody who slept with after the estate, you see. They always getting their feels on, look. They've got a new missus or fella, let me go seduce them, and lies, right? And then starting up drama, okay? And this is a masculine or feminine who just wanted to see you constantly fighting against all these bugaboos, these side pieces who they kept sliding to. You know what I mean? Emotional intelligence, maybe you knew. And then we've got reactive abuse, getting mad and angry, alright? Or this could be with this anger management and doing drugs. This could be someone who's addicted to drugs, and every time they didn't have their drugs, they'd get mad and angry, alright? And then they'd go on to any of these toxic side pieces who sell drugs, or who's got access to drugs, and then they'd go for some drugs, alright, and they'd probably slam them for some drugs. Time to accept, you say, in reverse. Then they could have put money in this masculine or feminine bank account. Look, I need some of fucking weed, I need some of this ket fet, I need some of this yada yada, I need my fucking drugs fixed, so I'm going to go knocking shop and get them to put some sort of money in my bank account, okay? Trash talk, this masculine or feminine, oh yeah, this, the that, and they slam each other, bare backing, alright, cause drama, and then when the money or whatever was running on out, they'd be coming on back. I love ya. Yeah, because they just get kicked to the curb. And then slide on back after having sex with somebody else. And then after trash talking masculine or feminine, and proper getting in their feels, but there was no protection. Let me just get that. I love ya. I love ya. I love ya. Ugh. But this was going on for a while. Throughout the full entire relationship, they wanted to keep it a secret that they was at the knocking shop, alright, with a local bike. Anyone who's this masculine, this feminine, they sleep with absolutely anybody. And you know, like, they've always been a hater, and they've always been nothing but a jealous copycat. So this fake ass ex was just going for copycats. She likes copycats. They like copycats, like these fake ass friends. They don't like originals. They like copycats. And they just want to fulfill a fantasy. Again, it could have ended up like in a police situation, and they wanted to keep it a secret that they was all forming this alliance to destroy with these toxic snakes and have you fighting and in your fields for a crank. For an absolute crank. For a narcissistic snake who would sleep with anybody. Not to be mean. Not to be mean. They would actually sleep with anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean anybody. Even a bitter, jealous, fake-ass friend. The jealous and all that, maybe you could have mentioned that they tried to form an alliance before, okay, and with the truth and reverse, and there was lying about you before in the past, look. And you could have spoke to this masculine or feminine about they was like lying, alright, and you had like this new beginning and they just slithered on back. They did. And then they was doing death and magic. Okay, so they're involved in doing death magic, so they're a dark witch or a dark warlock, okay, who focus on whenever you have a romantic love coming in, they do death magic on the connection. And they wanted to keep it a secret that they were sending this towards your home. So they were sending a lot of death magic towards your home. But I'm getting that this, or some of these, are linking to some sort of a church, or they claim to be a Christian or a Catholic or something like that. But every single time went through a rebirth. And they formed a pattern of doing this death and magic. Death hexes, sending towards masculine or feminine's home. Okay. Nothing but death magic. But you're real motherly, like, or fatherly. You're really, like, earthly. You're really grounded. Very, very nurturing. Very nurturing. And they was even, maybe quite possibly, doing death hexes on child or children, too. Do you know? But then we've got salvation. So you've been saved because you're a wise leader, and maybe it's a miracle with all these death hexes that masculine or feminine is actually still here, and maybe the ones, at least a couple of people who you had some sort of romantic relationship with wanted to keep it a secret that they was also in this alliance. They didn't like how ambitious you was, okay, how outgoing you was, alright. So wanted to have you exhausted with this shattered, with this constant death magic and death rituals, okay, constant death magic, death hexes, death rituals, and wanted you shattered and exhausted and constantly having to battle to actually survive. Meanwhile, they was laughing. All these bitter people, because it was a generous amount and I mean a very generous amount of death magic, a very generous amount. And they wasn't expecting you to like be liberated. They wasn't expecting you to be so independent. Okay? This could be somebody who's very codependent. They're very codependent. They're not a leader. They're a follower. I can assure you that. They're not a leader. They're not a follower. They're very, very codependent. Very codependent. And they did some sort of like hex to have you, and they was focused on these shots. They was constantly taking shots. And they didn't want you to be so independent. Because these are all very codependent people. Look, independence. These are very codependent people. They always need a crowd. They always... Healing, they wasn't expecting to heal. They were so so focused on their feelings of hate and envy and jealousy. But we've got water. The Most High is washing all your sins away. I'm getting happy days. The Most High is helping nurture you. Okay? Nurture yourself. I'm getting happy days. When Jesus washed my sins away. When Jesus washed my sins away. Divine wisdom, Lord. Happy days. He taught me how. I love that song. When Jesus washed my sins away. So your sins are being washed away. While they are drowning in their sins. Truth in reverse, because they are working with the Father of Lies. The Most High is washing your sins away. While they're drowning in their own lies. They are drowning. Look. There's like a flow. Maybe you're getting your flow back, okay? While they are just floating around. Drowning is what I'm getting. They're drowning in their own sorrows. They are drowning in their own sorrows. He washed my sins away, but they're not washing these fake-ass karmic sins away because they are drowning. You're going through healing from what's happened in the past because you're very ambitious, moving forward, again going through salvation, nurturing yourself, and they are drowning in their own lies. They may be laughing, but because of this new beginning, you're going to get the last laugh. They're crying. They're crying. They're looking back. They know they're a liar. And maybe with this illusions in reverse, they're seeing through these illusions now. Now they're seeing through these illusions and they're just like in like some sort of stillness, just sinking. They're just sinking. They're sinking and they're drowning. And oh, this moon magic, okay, that's going back, going on a rebirth, and they're sinking, they're drowning. They're sinking, they're drowning, look. Wow, they could maybe even want to even drown themselves. Laughing. Because now they're all laughing at this masculine or feminine for messing the relationship up, or because they wanted to fulfill a fantasy that I bet I can get this masculine or feminine round and I bet I can seduce them with lies, look, and I bet I can do this. It's like they're all betting. They was all betting. Maybe somebody who works at like Betfred or something like that. They was all betting. They was all betting. They don't want to hear it. They was betting that they could fuck this relationship up, look, and game over. And they did. But they was laughing at some sort of ending. They didn't keep the promises. Setting the record straight. Caught, look. They was being manipulated and they didn't want to keep the promise. They just wanted to make you feel insecure, and they gave you this sexual protection in reverse. They was just barebacking everybody they could. Everybody. I feel like they're linking to some sort of a sex cult or a sex curving. Okay, again, they sleep with absolutely anybody and there was no protection used. Already knowing the tea, didn't know at the time, or maybe you had some sort of inkling and they was trying to treat you like trash, downgrade you and strip you back behind closed doors, backstab and betray you with these bloody copycats. No way. Now they're like on this lonely road. They've deleted our messages, okay? They're on this lonely road. And they could have deliberately, one of these toxic karmics may have already known that they had an uncurable STD, or they may have already known that they had an STD, and they was deliberately spreading this STD. So maybe they could be under investigation for deliberately spreading an STD. Because these snakes, these karmics, the ones who's been getting lippy, linking to some sort of a sex shop, a knocking shop, the local bike, getting lippy, getting gobby, and these haters, they're riddled with some sort of STDs. But I'm getting, with this, you wash my sins away, I'm getting you're going to be able to get rid of any sort of, could have been married, could have spoke about marriage. I'm getting that maybe the Most High is going to wash your sins away and heal you, but they're never going to be able to heal from this. Like I say, if masculine or feminine has caught something, I'm getting the Most High is going to clear that. And they're obsessed now with who you are talking to, because they want to know if there's anybody else. They was doing it for money. Told you they're for the streets. And with this contract, they could have been on some sort of BLOOD contract for some BLOOD money. Because there's something linking to another cold case where it involved some money. Trying to gain access inside of your home. We've got telepathy, mind reading. So maybe you could have like got picked some thoughts in the air through some sort of telepathy, and maybe you thought, oh, I don't want to believe it. I want to think that I'm overthinking, or what have you. But they always wanted to gain access inside of your home to get some sort of money or to get something so they could sell that to get their drugs is what I'm getting. Oh look, you took down a gang cult or curving, because it's some sort of SEX cult or SEX curving, what they was very interested in joining, because they wanted a little bit of Monica, alright, in their life. They wanted a little bit of Erica, and they wanted to go back for a little bit of Jessica. Do you get what I mean? They think they're mum born number 5. That's what I'm getting. They think they're mum born number 5. I love you. I'm loyal. Alright. I think you're gorgeous. You're enough for me. Backstab, 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 backstab. And they could have actually got some money put in their account or cash in hand or something, yeah, to get some drugs. Because it was all about the drugs. This masculine or feminine was all about the drugs. So they would meet up with any of these toxic bugaboos, alright, set off on the road on their adventure, but not keep no promise about loyalty, but promise you to your face and swear blind that they're loyal. And maybe they, with this check yourself, they could have had some money put in their account or something, BLOOD money, and they could have been paid to backstab and betray you. Because this is what they do in these cults or curvings. They will pay people and get all promiscuous, okay? just to make the relationship crumble and crash, like private relationship in reverse, and they will even offer up some sort of money or drugs, these envious people, to fuck the full relationship up. And then again we've got some sort of reactive abuse when they're getting found out, and this person could claim to struggle with depression. Old news for they've had a lot of they claim to be depressed. Reactive abuse, they take their life out. When they fuck things up, they take it out on everybody else. Okay? And they love to start arguments, shout, go mad, just to please these promiscuous masculines or feminines, 45, 45, and slide back to them, and then gossip back to these jealous, envious, bitter people, and then act all depressed when they've messed the full frigging relationship up, and now they're angry and depressed, and these promiscuous, jealous, envious snakes don't even want this masculine or feminine anymore. So more for them, because they only wanted this person because they was with you, and they don't want this person. And now, because they've made bad choices, they don't want to hear that they are now backstabbing and betraying them, these rats, okay, all for the streets. Who are for the streets. But there is some sort of like pregnancy test, and maybe they could have got pregnant, or maybe they could have got pregnant. Maybe they could be pregnant, they could be with child. So maybe they could have got pregnant, or someone in the relationship had some sort of a pregnancy, whether that lasted or not, or one of these people has gone and got pregnant by them, or they've gone back to the baby mama, baby daddy, or something. Or they went back to one of their exes, one of their bugaboos, one of their side pieces, before they got in a relationship with you, masculine or feminine. This is the type of person that just destroys absolutely everything, because they've got incubus, succubus attachments. Jezebel. It's the demon of lust. It's a demon of lust. Let me just get a laptop right, because I always forget the name. I know it begins with an A. I know it begins with an A. Ostradamus. Okay. Sex demon. So these are supernatural entities, such as an incubus, male, preys on sleeping women, and a succubus, female, preys on sleeping men. So they was doing some sort of death magic to the relationship, and then these people was trying to slam masculine or feminine when they was asleep, or this could be a masculine or feminine who, when you went to sleep, they was just trying to slam you while you're asleep. Because we've got sex demons, incubi and succubi are an ancient belief often used in medieval Europe to explain phenomena like sleep paralysis, nightmares, or the birth of a legitimate or deformed child. The belief in these entities runs deep in various religions. Okay. Nostradamus was a real historical figure. His writings, however, did not contain direct references to sex demons in a folkloric sense, but rather a series of four-line verses that people have interpreted over centuries to predict future events, such as wars or the appearance of King of Terror. But the King of Terror is identified as the Death Devil. So this goes with this death magic, the death devil, death to relationships, because that's what they do. These sex demons, they tempt masculine or feminine to swear and be, to swear and be unloyal to their partners. It happens to the best of us, Talons. But every single relationship, masculine or feminine, gets in, regardless of your age. It happens to everybody. They are always getting tested and tempted by the devil. But with this communion, should have been joined in some sort of holy matrimony, but they prefer the devil. This is what I mean. They prefer Jezebels and incubuses and succubuses. And then this masculine or feminine would come back, take that good nurturing energy, and then pass it back to these succubus, incubus, because they need to feed. They need to feed. They need to feed. They can't kick this devil or demon, this sex demon, to the curb. But this is definitely somebody who kept getting lippy. This hater, always getting lippy, and would sleep with anybody. Even if you, not to be mean, yeah, even if you had a dog, alright, and, you know, a normal frigging relationship with a dog, but these, you know, would even try and tempt and sway your frigging dog, let me tell you that. Oh, I don't bloody know. So, there's like Gracia, Christian demonologists eventually came to agree that sexual relationships between demons and humans happen. Because it does. There's even part of like biblical 51, biblical texture where the angels rebelled just so they could mate with human women. So they very much prefer, look, a folk belief in witches and sex demons conventionally travelled to the early US colonies and flourished in, yeah, they just flourished. Okay, is there anything else about Ostradamus? I think there's this like Lilith type of energy as well, because Lilith did come out in the cards. Lilith type of energy. I don't bloody know. And also with this pregnancy, Lilith, it could have been like some sort of like demonic. Look, they are with the truth. They're in reverse. They are with the Father of Lies right now as we are like communicating. They are now sat with the Father of Lies. But they've removed all these. Like it won't let me search for this demon. But it is Incubus Succubus. Demon of Lust. Demon of Lust. That's what they do. So this masculine or feminine was in a very lustful energy, and with this envy, what came out, there's like a book, a folklore, the book of Tobit or Turbit, right? Osmodus or something. So there's something about Nostradamus and then Osmodus or something is depicted as a jealous spirit who kills the 7 husbands of a woman named Sarah on their wedding night to prevent them from consummating their marriage. So this is somebody who spoke about marriage, or this is somebody who could have been married to, or look, romantic love there. And we've got a female demon believed to seduce sleeping men to steal their life force. Like I said, they take that good energy, okay, and then they go back and they feed these incubus succubus, and then it says os semen. So whenever they're what have you, of other people, they are feeding these succubuses. They are feeding like these incubuses. So these incubuses will literally prey on sleeping women. Nostradamus prophecy. So you can even look that up, but we've got os. So it's ASMODEUS. I'm going to click on it. There's loads of stuff about it. Demon of lust. They're just too lustful. And then we've got Lilith there. Too lustful. Not loyal. Talks about loyalty. Expects you to be loyal to them. Expects you to be truthful to them and honest to them. But they very much prefer liars. And Lilith is depicted as female like envy. Very envious, look. Here she is. Very envious. Banished from the Garden of Eden. So very much with the devil, literally. While you are in a communion with the divine, you are going through salvation, and the Most High wants you to know that you are beautiful. You are very kind, you are very caring, you are enough, but to these compulsive liars, okay, these cranks, nothing's ever going to be enough. You could have 60 million billion in your bank account, okay? You could be the most beautiful man or beautiful woman in the world. They always want to have their cake and eat it. They really do. They're never going to be loyal. This is the type of person who's never going to be loyal. Chris Brown, these hoes ain't loyal. They're never going to be loyal. They don't know what loyalty is. They always like get someone right where they want them, get their feet under the table, act all nicey-nicey, and then they just slide. But again, the rats, they're for the streets. Look, split the deck. The rats, they're for the streets. Okay, so don't let them get you down. They know they fucked up. You knew something. Emotional intelligence. And that's why you walked away. Game over. That's why the Most High is setting the record straight. That they was always going to these bugaboos and talking about how they wanted to kick you to the curb and just come to you because I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. 57, 57, I think you're gorgeous. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you. And a lot of trash talking. Ugh. Yeah. And this is somebody who spends a lot of time on these sex websites. Oh look, what can I just say? Spreading STDs deliberately. Someone in this group, this purpose clothing, what have you, they know full well they've got a sexually transmitted demon. And they're feeding that, and they're trying to put that on masculine or feminine. But we've got salvation, okay? Got salvation. It was an accident. It were an accident. Their mother, alright, was just as toxic as them is what I'm getting. And for some, their mother was egging it on. Their mother was egging it on. Look, their mother was manipulating them too. Because they don't want to see their own son or daughter be happy. They just want their own son or daughter to be in this promiscuous energy. So we have got deleting thingy. And for some, they was offered a check or some sort of money in order for them to go against you and to ruin the full relationship. So now they might have money in the bank, but what's money in the bank without love? What is money in the bank without love? Investigating bad choices. Maybe somebody could like be investigating And we got caution because they could, again, just be bare backing, okay, causing total drama and deliberately spreading STDs. Deliberately. But I'm getting at this is someone who claims to be depressed, and this is someone who's always angry when they make bad choices, and they take this out on everybody else. They always take it out on everybody else. And now this toxic karmic, they're mad with all these slivery slimy snakes, and that they got tricked out of spending any more time with you. They got tricked. But you kicked them to the curb. And they didn't want you to know the truth about them being a rat for the streets and getting a room with these cranks. Now they're saying they don't hate you, alright, they don't want no drama, alright, and if they was doing some sort of video calls, maybe to their mother, okay, and their mother was egging them on, and they wanted some sort of fame or clout for what they was doing. They just wanted some sort of recognition, alright? They wanted some sort of recognition, like they chose to serve darkness. They really wanted some sort of recognition. Oh look, I'm going round to these haters of yours who has done nothing but backstab you, okay? They're friends, look. And even maybe their friends, these haters' friends or their friends, was egging them on too. Or just go for it. I know, but he or she, you know, you used to have a thing from in the past, go on. If they're giving you it now, you know what I mean? Like, now you've got in this relationship, now they don't want to be friends anymore because they could have done this with one of their friends. Now they don't want to be friends no more, now they want you. Slide around. So this could be a masculine or feminine who used to like one of their friends, okay? And one of their friends just friend-zoned them, and then as soon as they got in a relationship, they was on the blower, buff ya, and then man was egging them on. They've lost divine protection, and they're having withdrawals from your energy, because how are they going to feed this incubus, succubus? How are they going to feed their incubus or succubus now? They could actually be under investigation for spreading some sort of STDs or something involved in other crimes. So we've got informant in group chat, video chat, undercover, deliberately spreading some sort of STDs. I don't bloody know. Merry Christmas anyways. So you could be on your own, okay? Not wanting nothing to do with these karmics, which is for the best, because you deserve better than a rat who's for the street, who will get a room with anybody. I personally, I hate nothing about you, Zellens. I hate nothing about you, sweetheart. Game over, yes, focus on yourself, your own healing. They're all getting kicked to the curb because they was getting used in a game. They was getting manipulated, so while they was trying to manipulate you, they was being manipulated, but they love to be seduced with lies, they really do. Because they're for the streets, are all about the money, who's got the most drugs, and who's got it out on display, and who's going to let them in. Ugh. So don't let them back, it's for your own safety. Split the deck again, because they're only going to lie. Keep raising your vibrational frequency, okay? Seeing through these illusions, focusing again on your healing, and you are beautiful on the inside and the out. But you could be the most beautiful person in the whole entire world, and these bitter, jealous, envious bitches, you could be the most kind, caring, generous people in the whole entire world, and they're always going to want to go to these these Jezebels, these incubuses, these succubuses. Always, because they're never going to change. This is the type of person And these are the type of people who are never going to change. But again, who's got the last laugh? And with this water, he washed my sins away. Or happy days. So happy days are ahead. A lot of healing, okay. With this home, I'm getting that you felt like home with this person as well. You felt like home. You tried to liberate them, okay. You felt like, or you feel like home. And they really want to communicate with you again. But if, in the future, look, they could even try and come back in the future while you are focusing on healing. I would not let this person, okay, inside of your home, you keep washing your sins away. He washed my sins away. You keep washing, cleansing with water to get this masculine or feminine outside of your energetic field. Because if they come back, they're only going to go and do more death magic, because maybe their mother is involved in death magic, and look, maybe their mother has formed a pattern of doing death magic on their own child throughout the past. That's for some, okay? And maybe their friends, they always do death magic on the relationship because they're all co-creating with each other. They are. Because these incubuses, these succubuses, they need feeding. They need somebody to feed them. Time and time again, they need a feed. Probably could have done some sort of beauty magic too. Tried to drain you of your beauty and your divine light. Because that's what they need. Although they're dark negative entities, they need the light to feed off. Alright? Father of lies. He thinks he's won, but I'm getting that you're just getting a closer connection to the divine. They was creating some sort of false narrative. Okay? Lying. Creating a false narrative. But he washed my sins away. So maybe listen to that song, because it's very significant to this reading. Sending peace, love and light.